On January the 23rd, 2025, my trail brother Nick and I traveled 5.5 hours from central Kentucky to the Dolly Sods wilderness area, where we would embark on a winter backpacking trip featuring more snow than we have ever experienced. Our journey began at the quaint Laurel River Club bed and breakfast just outside the town of Bowden. The owners were incredibly kind, hospitable, and knowledgeable with their business. They operate an intriguing form of agritourism where they showcase to their guests all parts of their homestead, from growing crops to harvesting livestock. Did I pick well, Nick?
Yeah.
This place is awesome. The next day, we parked my truck at the bottom of Forest Road 80, a couple miles below the Blackbird Knob trailhead. Our plan was to reach Rocky Ridge and camp somewhere halfway to the intersection with Raven Ridge. The weather at Dolly Sods, especially during wintertime, can be unpredictable. Since its boundaries fall along the Eastern Continental Divide, and it is considered a high plateau, inclement weather fronts can vary to extreme limits. On average, the area receives around 150 inches of snow each year, and temperatures have been known to fall as low as 30 below zero. Nick and I quickly grasped the extent of winter weather waiting for us when we finally reached Rocky Ridge. The frigid temperatures caused the snow to be extremely dry and powdery. It made snowshoeing excruciatingly tough. Our snowshoes sank several feet in hidden drifts, making walking slow and cumbersome. When we found a campsite, we had only hiked around 4 miles for the day, but we were absolutely exhausted from the conditions and the 50-plus pound backpacks we were carrying. We would spend the next 16 hours in our tents, seeking warmth and relief from the onslaught of wind and spindrift snow.
My stakes now. Huh? I said now that I got this up, I'll probably I don't know, I've been just kind of stomping mine into the ground. Seems to be working. I mean, maybe I go at an angle. Problem is, I don't know if I've gone far enough.
The next morning, Nick informed me that he had gotten his fill of snow and cold, and decided to head back to my truck and wait in Elkins until I finished the loop I had planned.
Have fun.
It was a bummer to see him leave, but I respected his decision, and set my gaze towards the challenge of making it past Raven Ridge.
Trail trap.
Trail trap.
Nick's departure foreshadowed the grim reality I faced once I reached the wind-carved sandstone boulders along Rocky Ridge. I followed a single pair of ski tracks that took me up and around those rocks, which was a grave mistake. The ski tracks seemed to float on top of the snow, while I continued to sink deeper, this time up to my waist in several spots. My snowshoes got tangled with tree limbs, burying me in snow, trapping me like quicksand. I realized that I desperately needed skis for this trip. While I didn't panic and eventually made it out, it was one of the most disturbing moments of hiking I've ever experienced, with my level of concern reaching new heights. The rest of the day was a slog fest. Once I reached Raven Ridge, the single pair of skis I was following disappeared, leaving me both to break trail and self-navigate, as there was too much snow to visualize any sort of path snaking along the stands of spruce trees. I finally made it to a semi-sheltered spot for camp just before descending Beaver View Trail. It took me over 8 hours to traverse just under 5 miles, and my body was quivering from exhaustion. I slept restlessly due to my inflatable pad partially popping, and northerly winds blasting my tent all night across the ridgetop. While the temperature was warmer Sunday morning than the day prior, it felt colder due to the biting wind chill. I broke my camp by 9 a.m., dreading another full day of post-holing undisturbed snow. The next mile and a half felt like an Arctic tundra, with frozen snowdrifts resembling glaciers and crosswinds that nearly knocked me over. Once I reached the Dobbin Grade Trail, I received some trail magic with the return of ski tracks. It was evident that these had been used by more people, as the snow was packed down harder, making my snowshoeing infinitely easier. The improving conditions quickened my pace, allowing me to reach the desired campsite location just after noon. All morning I weighed whether to endure another night with increasingly wet gear from sweat and condensation, or to push an extra 3 miles back to the parking lot for Nick to pick me up. I chose the latter, which I was immediately grateful for once I saw Nick's silhouette waiting for me near my truck. I nearly melted into his arms as we welcomed one another again with an embrace, feeling eternally grateful to make it out of a wilderness area that contains some of the harshest winter weather in the eastern United States. Give me your best excited face.
Alright, go ahead without me. I'll be here for the next couple days.
Or we can take it with us.
Yeah. Sweetheart.
It's a Blackbird knob trailhead. Nick, how you doing so far?
My ass hurts.
What is going on there?
I don't know what's going on.
You're single-handedly giving me bloopers. You're on a lump.
God. I just want to sit down. Oh, there's a freaking rock there.
No wonder.
He's insane. I can hold it. Cool. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Smokey B's Natural. I'm your captain, Drama.